Hey everyone, welcome back to another PS Vita hack video, and today we're going to look at Retroarch version 1.9.1, the latest release, and we're also going to take a look at how we can get our playlists enabled. I see a lot of people having this issue where they downloaded the latest Retroarch and they're not seeing those playlists appear, where if you scan a ROM, before in the past, if you scanned a ROM, you would get a playlist and this really cool icon of the console of like the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, NES, Super NES, and it was really good. It was nice, it was beautiful looking, but now we're not seeing that. And some of the things are not working in Retroarch, and I'm going to show you how to enable those playlists. And also just updating this video for those who just got into the PS Vita hacking scene, and updating my Retroarch video here on the channel, because the last one is a little bit outdated and some of the links are not working due to what happened last year with Retroarch, them getting hacked and a lot of stuff being deleted and them losing a lot of information. So hopefully in this video we can solve that issue for you with those playlists. And we're going to begin by installing Retroarch for the very first time on our console. If you already have Retroarch and you updated your assets through the online updater and you have everything all set, you have your ROMs, everything placed in their folders, you can skip to a timestamp down below where I'll show you how to get those files for those playlist icons. Before we go any further, a word from our sponsor. Big shout out to my sponsor, which is the Coldest Water. Thank you guys so much for partnering up with me. And this is a steel water bottle that has a double wall insulation. It has a lifetime warranty, has a really easy grip on it. It stays cold for 25 plus hours, has no sweat technology, floats in oceans and pools, fits 99% of cup holders, big handle for easy carrying, and it's 100% BPA free and toxin free, so it's eco-friendly. It has odor and bacteria resistance. So make sure to check out the link in the description down below and use my promo code to save 10% off your entire purchase. Let's begin by going to Vita Shell, and we have to connect our PS Vita to our PC. We're going to download the latest release of Retroarch for PS Vita. So press start and make sure your select button is under USB and your USB device is selected to your desired location, like you can have your memory card or your SD2 Vita. So for me, I'm going to do SD2 Vita. Let's go back, press select, and now it should be enabled. Let's go to our desktop here. Give me 1 second. There we go. And there is my PS Vita USB drive. Awesome. And we're going to go to the first link in the description. It will take you to retroarch.com. Scroll down to the PS Vita here and hit the download. Alright, so it's all done downloading. Let's hit the refresh, and there is our VPK. So I usually throw my VPKs in my VPK folder just to keep everything organized, and I know exactly where to go to install these applications. But for this demonstration, I'll just throw it into my USB drive root there, and it will take some time. It's a little beefy, so just be patient with that copy. Retroarch has been fully copied to my PS Vita. Go to the second link in the description and we will download the Retroarch theme files. This is going to give us those nice playlist icons, and it will take you to drivegoogle.com, so Google Drive. So hit the download button up here and hit the download anyway. It's a 41 megabyte folder. Let's show in our folder. Hit the refresh, right click, go to 7-zip or your extracting program, extract files. Here's my little window, hit OK. And now we have a new extracted folder called Retroarch _theme _PS Vita. And we won't copy this just yet. We have to go back to our PS Vita and install the Retroarch VPK and go through the application to update the assets. So we'll head back to our PS Vita and do that right now before we touch this folder. Back on our console here, let's go to our UXO folder and install the Retroarch VPK. This will take some time to install, so just be patient. 99%. We're almost there. There it is. fully installed finally. Let's go home, and there is our Retroarch application. Alrighty, so here is our main menu, and what we have to do first, guys, is go to the online updater and make sure you're connected to the internet for this to work. So let's press the circle button, and we want to hit the update assets. So hit that, and it will begin downloading the assets. This will take a lot of time here, and it's also going to extract it after it's done downloading. So just make sure that your console stays on and it doesn't sleep. If it does, it will cancel the download or the extraction part, so just stay on top of it. I noticed one funny thing: when the download was complete, it was at 100%, and it just sat there for like a couple minutes, and I started going through the menu, it froze, and then it started extracting the assets. So just be a little patient with that too. It is a little finicky, but rest assured it will work. Alright, looks like Retroarch is done extracting those files, and it just restarted by itself there. And now you should see a new updated interface, not as old and bad as the previous version. So now we have 1.91 at the bottom there, and we can change this whole UI. Let's see here, by going to our settings, going into drivers, and we can change our menu to the XMB for those who would like to get that old school PSP, PS3 theme. Once you switch over, just restart Retroarch, and it should change to the new UI there. There we go. And this is the console style, or I'm sorry, the handheld style. We can change it by going to user interface. Whoops, sorry, I keep pressing X, which is back in here. Let's go to user interface, go appearance, and let's see, let's go to the menu layout, and let's change our menu scale factor from 150 to 1.00, and now we have a nice even look. Might be a little small, but this works for me. So let's take a look at our scan. And before, with Retroarch, after you updated your assets, you can just scan for a ROM, and then it would create a playlist and have an icon there. So let's go to scan directory. Let's go to UXO, and we want to go into our ROMs folder. This is where I keep all of my ROMs. It just depends on your own preference. Here's Game Boy ROMs. It says there's no items, but once I hit the scan this directory, you're gonna see a little loading bar at the bottom, and it's gonna show all the games that are in this folder. This is a weird bug. For some reason it's not showing, but let's scan, and you can see there was 4 games that was scanned there. And we don't have a playlist. Usually after the scan we'll have a playlist of our the icon of the console, and so on and so forth, and the information of our ROMs. You can do a manual scan where you could create your own playlist if that's what you prefer, but I suggest not doing that, because the more ROMs you add, the more you have to do that, and it's just exhausting doing it manually. Another thing to keep in mind, guys, is going to your user interface, and you can change your style. Let's go to the menu icon theme, and pressing left and right will change it, and it will change the whole way it looks, all the icons and the color. So this one's flat UI, and you can change the menu color theme to all these different nice. I like that one. Sunbeam is pretty cool. One of my favorites is the purple. There's this purple one. That one's cool. Dark purple is one of my favorites. Flat UI. There's several themes in here that you could use, and I think they're great. The monochrome is not that nice for me, but I like using the this one, which we just missed. This one is called the Retroactive, and you can also have icon shadows. There you go. You can see just a little shadow there. But now we're going to move on to those files we just downloaded and extracted on our PC, and we're going to copy those over to our Retroarch updated folder. Now that everything is all set, we can go back to our Vita shell. Let's go there. Let's open this up. This will close it. And you guys did see that when I scanned it, nothing happened. It just stayed the same. So let's go and connect our USB. Let's go to our desktop here. In your PS Vita USB drive, open up the data folder and go to the Retroarch folder. So let's blow that up. There it is. And you should have a total of 16 items in this folder. Now open up the Retroarch_theme folder and select those 6. And we're going to copy those over here. And it's a total of a little under 90 megabytes. And you will get some warning windows popping up saying, hey, do you want to replace these files? And we're going to have to accept that. So let's just wait for that message to pop up here. When you get this message here, it says error, the file or directory is corrupted and unreadable. What we want to do is select this checkbox and skip. We're going to skip all of those files that are corrupted, supposedly. And then we're going to have another message here saying the destination has over 2,000 files with the same names. What we want to do is replace the files in this destination. So hit that. And it's going to start copying over some pictures and stuff like that, stuff we need for our playlists to be created. And it's going to be working just fine after all this is said and done. All done. Perfect. Let's close that out and go back on our PS Vita. Let's exit out of Vita shell and go to our Retroarch application. Let's open that up. Alright, cool. So everything got reverted back to the default, and we can just change that back going to our user interface here, go to our appearance and change that back to 1.00. There we go. And let's change our icon theme to something else. I'm not a big fan of monochrome, so we'll just do that very quickly and just go to Retroactive with the shadow icons. And I believe there's like 5 or 7 of them. Now, pretty cool icon shadows. Now we have the slide bars that say on and off. So I think that's a lot cooler instead of just like a little bar. Let's go back and now let's scan a directory. Let's go to our UXO and go into my ROMs folder. And I forgot to explain this part, but this directory here is basically my UXO folder. So you can place your ROMs anywhere you'd like. I recommend just creating a folder called ROMs and just dumping your games there. But try to be more organized within that folder. Just don't dump all your ROMs. I'll have Game Boy ROMs, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Super NES, and so on and so forth. So let's go to Game Boy ROMs and scan this directory. And scanning now is going to take a little bit longer, which is good. That's what we want to see. If it goes too fast, then we have a problem. So let's go back, and now we have our playlist. Isn't that cool? We now have our little cartridges and the console icon at the top. That is really awesome. So we can select that game and we can look at information. We can also download the thumbnails, so hit the download thumbnails here. And now we have the Game Boy Color Killer Instinct box art. It's pretty awesome. So when you scroll through your games, you can see the different thumbnails. So let's go to Pokemon Blue here, download thumbnails. Very cool. So now we have those thumbnails as well, and you can do like the entire thumbnails by going to let's see, online updater, go to playlist thumbnails updater and select that playlist, and it's going to scan through all your games. Doing that will give you all the thumbnails right away. It's pretty cool. Some of them won't show up, like this one is a special Pikachu edition. I'm not sure. Let's go and download thumbnails. Some of them might work, I'm not sure why. Let's go back and scan another directory. Now if you don't like going through these different folders and weaving through, what you can do is go to the settings, go to directory, and file browser here is set by default, so it's just gonna go through all of the folders that are available. You can go to your UXO folder, go to your ROMs folder, and use this directory, and now it's gonna go automatically to your UXO ROMs folder. So let's go to scan directory, and now it brings us to that ROMs folder. Now we can see all of our folders there, and if you're constantly adding games to it, it's going to be a lot easier and more efficient. Let's go to Game Boy Advance and scan this directory. I still can't figure out why it shows no items. It's very strange, but just hit scan and it should work. This will take some time. There's 12 games in this folder, so if you have like 100 games, it's going to take a long time, but it's well worth it, so you can get those icons, the console icons and the thumbnails. So just be patient with that and you'll be all set. So Game Boy Advance is just finishing up here with 12 games. Scanning of directory is finished. Let's go back, and this is going to give us the Game Boy Advance SP, so the one that folds open like that, and you might get a different one depending on the theme that you have selected. So we don't have any thumbnails here, as you can see. Let's go to the thumbnails updater, online updater, playlist thumbnails updater, and let's select our Game Boy Advance. And we can actually go back and see this real time as it's doing it. There's Emerald, there's Fire Red version, and now everything should have been scanned. Now there could be a reason why it didn't scan like Ruby version or Sapphire version. Perhaps Retroarch doesn't see it as a genuine copy of the ROM, and that's why it didn't grab the thumbnails. So that could be a reason why it's not downloading those thumbnails. So make sure you guys get some real good ROMs that will work properly for Retroarch. And when it comes to running your games, let's select Emerald version here and hit run. And now we have options of different cores that Retroarch provides us to use. So these are like different little emulators for that console. So we have GPSP, MGBA, and we have MBA next. So it just depends on what game you're running and how well it will perform with these different cores. So you're just gonna have to test them out. If you have problems, for example, with GPSP, go ahead and use the next one over, and just keep trying these different cores and seeing which will work the best for that ROM. For the most part, the ROM should work for, you know, the best core that they got. Here, for me, I think it's going to be either GPSP or MGBA. I would go with MGBA because that's already an emulator here for the PS Vita console. Another thing you can do, guys, is to sign in to Retroarch and create a you can create an account with them where you can receive achievements. It's really cool. I have a full video on that, and I'll have that in the description down below so you can check it out and get yourself set up where when you're playing any type of old school games, you can receive achievements, and it's really fun. It's really awesome to see those achievements kind of come across your screen when you're playing these old school games, and it gives me a lot of nostalgia from when I used to play on the PS3 and getting those trophies. It was just very awesome. So that is it for this one. I hope this video was helpful for many of you that were having that problem with the console icons and the playlists. I know it was driving me crazy, and it took me a little bit to solve this problem. So I really appreciate you guys watching. If you could give it a thumbs up, it really helps me out a lot, especially with the YouTube algorithm. And if you have any comments, comment down below. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe for more content like this. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.